You've probably heard it before. If you have a problem, just talk to someone. It's well-meaning advice. And sometimes venting can feel like a relief in the moment. But what happens after you've poured your heart out, explained every detail, and shared your frustration? Most of the time, not much. The truth is, as harsh as it may sound, most people don't care about your problems the way you think they do. And that's not because people are heartless or indifferent. It's because everyone is carrying their own weight. Everyone is dealing with their own struggles, navigating their own challenges. And often they're too consumed with their own lives to truly care about yours. When you unload your problems on others, it's easy to believe that they're listening deeply, feeling, and that somehow their understanding will help you resolve what's going on. But the reality is, most of the time they'll nod on or for a few words of sympathy or advice, and then move on with their day. Your problem, which feels monumental to you, is just a passing conversation to them. It's not that people don't care at all. It's that they can't care as deeply as you do because they're not the ones going through it.
You might think that sharing your problems will somehow lessen the burden, that by getting it off your chest you'll feel lighter. But more often than not, after the conversation ends, you're still stuck with the same issue. The problem hasn't changed and the burden hasn't been lifted. In fact, sometimes sharing your struggles with others can make you feel even more isolated, especially when their response doesn't match the intensity of what you're feeling.
You're left thinking, don't they understand? Can't they see how much this is affecting me? But the truth is, no one can fully understand what you're going through except you. Your pain, your frustration, your struggles, they are uniquely yours. Now, this isn't to say you should never share your feelings or that opening up is inherently bad. There's a time and place for everything, and sometimes talking to a trusted friend or family member can provide valuable perspective. But there's a difference between seeking support and expecting someone else to carry your load. The moment you start relying on others to solve your problems or make you feel better, you give away your power. You place your emotional well-being in the hands of someone else. And that's a risky position to be in. People are inconsistent. They have their own lives, their own priorities. And more often than not, they won't be there for you in the way you need them to be, not because they don't want to, but because they simply can't.
One of the hard lessons of life is that at the end of the day, you are responsible for your own happiness, your own success, and your own peace. No one else is going to do that work for you. And while it might feel comfortable to share your struggles with others, it's not going to bring about the change you're looking for.
Real change, real progress comes from within. It comes from facing your problems head on without the need for external validation or sympathy. When you stop telling people about your problems, something shifts. You begin to realize just how much strength you have. You start to rely on yourself more. You stop looking for someone else to fix things for you. And instead you take control. That's where true growth happens, in the moments when you decide to handle your business without needing anyone else's approval or advice. It's in those quiet moments of struggle when no one else is watching that you build resilience, grit, and character. There's also an element of self-respect that comes with not broadcasting your problems to the world. When you keep your challenges to yourself, you maintain your dignity. You show yourself and others that you're capable of handling life's difficulties without needing to put them on display. And while it's tempting to share every hardship with those around you, there's a quiet power in keeping some things private. Not everything needs to be shared. Not every struggle needs to be turned into a story. People are often more interested in the highlights of your life than the low points. They're quick to celebrate your successes, but slow to sit with you in your failures. That's just human nature. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It just means that you have to be selective about who you share your struggles with. If you share them at all, most people are not equipped to handle your problems, and expecting them to do so will only lead to disappointment. This doesn't mean you should shut yourself off from the world or never seek help. There are times when reaching out for support is the right thing to do, but it's important to understand that no one will ever care about your problems the way you do. Your pain, your frustration, and your challenges are yours to navigate. And the sooner you stop looking for others to solve them for you, the sooner you realize how much strength and power you really have.
So instead of telling people about your problems, start working on the solution. Use the energy you would have spent venting to others to make real progress. Focus on what you can control and let go of the need for external validation, Because at the end of the day, the only person who can carry you through your struggles is you.
And once you embrace that, you'll find that you're stronger, more capable, and more resilient than you ever thought possible. Complaining is one of those habits that often feels like it gives us a release, a way to express frustration or dissatisfaction with the things in life that don't go our way. We all do it from time to time. It's natural to feel overwhelmed, stressed, or upset when things aren't going as we'd like. And it's easy to fall into the trap of vocalizing those frustrations. But here's the hard truth: complaining doesn't fix the problem. It never has, and it never will. Think about the times when you've been in a tough spot.
Maybe it's work stress. Maybe it's a relationship issue. Or maybe it's just the day-to-day grind of life getting to you. You vent, you express your frustration, and for a moment you might feel a little lighter. But when the words leave your mouth, what has actually changed? The situation remains the same.
The problem that led you to complain in the first place hasn't gone anywhere. You're still left to deal with it. Complaining may feel like a temporary release, but it's just that, temporary. The issue with complaining is that it focuses your energy in the wrong direction. Instead of channeling your mental and emotional resources toward finding a solution, you're essentially spinning your wheels, fixating on what's wrong instead of what can be done about it. It's like being stuck in quicksand. Complaining only pulls you deep into the negative emotions without offering any real way out. The more you complain, the more you reinforce the mindset that the problem is too big, too difficult, or too unfair to overcome. In many ways, complaining is a passive act. It doesn't require any real action or effort, and that's why it's so easy to fall into. When you complain, you're essentially giving up your power to change the situation. You're admitting, whether you really or not, that you're stuck. And instead of doing something about it, you're choosing to wallow in it. It becomes a vicious cycle. The more you complain, the more powerless you feel, and the less likely you are to take meaningful steps to solve the problem. Now, let's be clear. There's a difference between venting and complaining. Venting is a way to release pent-up emotions. And when done sparingly and in the right context, it can actually be helpful. Venting to a close friend or family member who genuinely listens and supports, you can provide a much-needed emotional outlet. But venting should be a temporary release, not a habit. It should be followed by action. If all you ever do is vent without taking any steps to address the root of the problem, then you've crossed the line into complaining. When we complain, we also give away our accountability. We shift the blame to external circumstances, our boss, our partner, the economy, the weather, anything but ourselves. Complaining allows us to sidestep responsibility. But here's the thing. While you can't control everything that happens to you, you can always control how you respond, and complaining is not a productive response. It's an emotional reaction that keeps you stuck in the very situation you're unhappy with. The most successful people, those who are truly thriving in their personal and professional lives, don't waste time complaining. They understand that complaining is a distraction from progress. Instead, they focus on solutions.
They recognize the problem, yes, but then they immediately shift their attention to what they can do about it. It's not that they don't face challenges, everyone does, but instead of wasting time lamenting their difficulties, they take action. Action is what changes things. When you face a problem, no matter how big or small, the only thing that will make a difference is what you do about it.
Complaining keeps you stuck in a problem, whereas action moves you toward the solution. And the truth is, many of the problems we complain about are things we actually have control over. We just don't want to admit it because taking action requires effort, and it's often easier to complain than to put in the work. Think about your own life. What are the things you complain about most? Maybe it's your job, your relationship, or your finances. Now ask yourself, have you taken concrete steps to change those situations or issues, or have you spent more time complaining about them? If you're honest with yourself, you'll likely find that you've invested more energy in talking about the problem than in solving it. But here's the good news. Every complaint is an opportunity to take action. Every time you catch yourself complaining, it's a signal that something needs to change, and you have the power to make that change. Taking action doesn't mean you have to solve the problem overnight. Some challenges are complex and take time to work through, but the key is to start. Instead of complaining, ask yourself, what can I do about this right now? It might be a small step, sending an email, making a phone call, adjusting your mindset. But even small steps create momentum. And once you start moving in the direction of a solution, you'll find that the need to complain diminishes. Complaining is often a sign that we feel out of control. We complain because we're frustrated, because we want things to be different, but we don't know how to make them so. But here's the empowering truth. You are never completely out of control. You always have some influence your circumstances, even if it's just in how you choose to perceive them. When you stop complaining and start taking responsibility for your own life, you reclaim your power. In the end, complaining doesn't serve you. It doesn't fix the problem, and it doesn't move you forward. It keeps you stuck, mired in negativity, and dependent on external circumstances to change in your favor. But when you stop complaining and start taking action, everything shifts. You move from being a passive participant in your own life to being the one in control. And that's where real progress happens, not in the complaints, but in the action that follows. Every person in life goes through their own set of struggles. No one escapes hardship. The circumstances may vary, the situations may differ, but the reality is that we all face difficulties at different points in our journey. And while it might be tempting to look at our struggles as something unfair or as obstacles that are simply meant to break us down, there's another way to view them. Your struggles are your personal test. They are not random. They are there to shape you, to mold you, and ultimately to strengthen you. They are your life's test to help you grow into who you are meant to be. Think about it this way: just as a student cannot graduate without taking tests, you can evolve into your highest potential without going through difficult times. The test is never designed to destroy you, it's designed to elevate you. Life doesn't hand you struggles because it's cruel. Life hands you struggles because those struggles are the exact circumstances you need to push past your limits and expand what you think you're capable of. Struggles force you to dig deeper, to reach for strength you didn't know you had, and to learn lessons you couldn't otherwise understand.
It's easy to get caught up in the negative emotions that come with challenges. Fear, frustration, doubt, all of these feelings can cloud your judgment when you're going through something difficult. But those emotions, while powerful, don't change the fact that struggle is a necessary part of growth. In fact, every single successful person you've ever admired has faced immense struggles at some point.
They didn't reach their goals because they avoided hardship. They reached their goals because they embraced it. They understood that the struggle was their personal test, a way for them to prove to themselves and to life that they were worthy of what they were striving for. When you're faced with struggle, it's a moment of decision. You can either choose to view it as something unfair and allow it to defeat you, or you can choose to see it as an opportunity to rise to the occasion. The truth is, the way you handle your struggles reveals your character. It shows who you really are. Anyone can smile and be optimistic when things are going well, but it's how you handle the tough moments that truly defines you. That's why your struggles are your personal test, because they show you what you're made of. The beauty of struggle is that it forces you to confront the parts of yourself that need to change. It's easy to stay comfortable, to avoid looking too closely at the things in your life that aren't working. But when struggle comes knocking, it shines a spotlight on the areas where you need to grow. Maybe you've been avoiding making a difficult decision, or maybe you've been stuck in a cycle of self-doubt. Struggles won't allow you to stay in that place of avoidance or complacency. They will push you to your limits until you're forced to make a choice to change, to adapt, to rise. And here's the thing: life doesn't give you more than you can handle. The struggles you face are tailored to you. They are your personal tests because they are designed to address areas where you need the most growth. What someone else is going through may be completely different, but that's because their test is meant for them, just as yours is meant for you. You might feel like life is being unfair, like you're being handed more than your share of difficulties. But the truth is, these challenges are exactly what you need to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Let's consider this: you never build strength without resistance. In the gym, you lift weights to build muscle, and the heavier the weight, the more your muscles are forced to grow. The same principle applies in life. The more significant the struggle, the greater the opportunity for growth. Struggles stretch your capacity. They expand your ability to handle more. Each time you overcome a challenge, you gain confidence in your ability to tackle the next one. You learn that you are more capable than you once believed. And with every struggle you pass through, you come out on the other side, not just stronger, but more prepared for the next level of life's journey. It's also important to understand that your personal test is not meant to be compared to anyone else's. In today's world, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparing your life to the highlight reels of others, especially on social media.
You see people who appear to be living perfect lives. No struggles, no hardships, just smooth sailing. But that's an illusion. Everyone has struggles. The difference is that some people have learned to embrace their struggles as part of their personal journey, while others are still fighting against them.
Your struggles are uniquely yours. They are crafted to bring out the best in you, and comparing them to anyone else's will only distract you from the lesson they are meant to teach you. The real test and struggle is not whether you can avoid it or make it disappear. The test is whether you can endure it and come out better on the other side. Will you let the struggle break you, or will you allow it to build you? Will you resist the lesson, or will you embrace it? These are the questions life asks of you when you're faced with difficulty. At the end of the day, no one else can take this test for you. You can ask for advice, you can seek support, but the work is yours to do. The transformation is yours to undergo. And when you pass the test, when you overcome the struggle, you don't just get through it, you grow through it. You come out more resilient. So the next time you find yourself in the midst of a struggle, remember this: it's not there to break you. It's there to test you, to push you, and to bring out the strength and greatness that is already within you. The struggle is your personal test, and passing it is how you become the person you were always meant to be.
Growth is a fundamental part of life, whether it's personal development, achieving goals, or building resilience. Growth is at the core of everything we do to improve ourselves. Yet the process of growth is rarely smooth or easy. In fact, real growth almost always happens in discomfort. It's in those moments when we are stretched, challenged, and pushed beyond what's familiar and comfortable that we truly transform.
Discomfort, as difficult as it may feel, is the catalyst for growth. We often seek comfort because it's human nature to want to avoid pain, hardship, or stress. We like routines because they provide a sense of safety and predictability, but comfort zones, while they feel good in the short term, are traps when it comes to long-term growth. Staying in your comfort zone means staying the same, avoiding new challenges, and limiting your potential. Discomfort, on the other hand, forces you to adapt, to evolve, and to confront parts of yourself that need to change. Think about any significant moment of growth in your life. Was it easy? Probably not. Maybe it was a time when you started a new job and felt completely out of your depth, unsure of yourself and overwhelmed by everything you didn't know. Or perhaps it was a moment when you faced a personal challenge, overcoming a fear, dealing with loss, or navigating a difficult relationship. These moments likely felt uncomfortable, maybe even unbearable at times. But they were the moments that pushed you to grow. This comfort acts as a mirror. It shows us where we need to improve and where we are holding ourselves back. It highlights our insecurities, fears, and limitations. And while this can be hard to face, it's necessary. When you're in a place of discomfort, you're being forced to confront the areas where you need to grow. You're being pushed beyond what you know and what feels safe. This is where real learning happens, not in the safety of your comfort zone, but in the stretch of discomfort. Think about physical fitness as a metaphor for growth. If you want to build muscle, you don't do it by lifting light weights that you can easily manage. You increase the weight, you push your muscles to their limit, and in doing so, you create small tears in the muscle fibers. It's during the recovery period, when the body repairs those tears, that muscle growth happens. The same principle applies to personal growth. You don't grow by doing what you've always done or by staying in situations that feel easy. Growth requires you to challenge yourself, to stretch beyond what's comfortable, and sometimes to even feel a little broken before you can rebuild stronger. But why do we resist discomfort? It's because discomfort feels like a threat. Our brains are wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain. In evolutionary terms, this makes sense. It kept our ancestors by steering them away from danger. However, in the modern world, discomfort is often not a physical threat, but an emotional or psychological one. And while the discomfort of growth feels threatening, it's not something to be feared. It's something to be embraced, because on the other side of discomfort is the person you are meant to become. Growth and discomfort teaches resilience. When you face adversity, discomfort is inevitable. Whether it's failure, rejection, or setbacks, these experiences test you. But each time you go through discomfort and come out the other side, you build resilience. You prove to yourself that you can handle tough situations, that discomfort won't break you, and you're capable of more than you thought. This mental toughness is what allows you to keep going, even when the road gets difficult. Discomfort also fosters creativity and innovation. When everything is going smoothly, there's no real need to change anything. You coast along doing what you've always done, but when you face discomfort, you're forced to think differently. You're pushed to find new solutions, to be creative, and to innovate. Many of the greatest inventions, artistic creations, or truths in history were born out of discomfort. It was the pressure of discomfort that led people to think outside the box and come up with something new. Moreover, discomfort cultivates humility and empathy. When you go through tough times, you realize that you don't have all the answers. You become more humble because you understand your limitations. And you develop empathy because you know what it feels like to struggle. Growth through discomfort softens your ego and deepens your ability to connect with others. It's a reminder that everyone is going through something, and it creates a shared sense of humanity. One of the biggest barriers to growth is the fear of failure. Discomfort often comes with the risk of not succeeding, of making mistakes, and of falling short. But failure is a necessary part of growth. If you never fail, it means you're not taking risks. If you're not taking risks, you're not growing. Discomfort and failure are intertwined, but they are both essential for progress. Every time you fail, you learn something valuable. Every lesson brings you closer to where you want to be. Another reason discomfort leads to growth is that it builds confidence. It might sound counterintuitive, but the more you push yourself through uncomfortable situations, the more confidence you build. Each time you step out of your comfort zone and succeed, you prove to yourself that you are capable. Even when you don't succeed, the fact that you tried builds confidence. Over time, you begin to trust yourself more, knowing that you can handle whatever comes your way. The key to growing through discomfort is to not run from it, but to face it head on. When you feel discomfort, it's a sign that you're growing. It means you're doing something that challenges you, something that stretches you beyond what you've done before. Instead of retreating back into comfort, lean into the discomfort. Ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? Often, discomfort reveals the very thing you need to learn to move forward. This doesn't mean you should constantly seek out difficult situations just for the sake of it. But when life naturally presents you with discomfort, and it will embrace it as part of your growth journey.
It's not about making things harder than they need to be. It's about recognizing that when things are hard, you're being given an opportunity to grow. In the end, growth and discomfort are two sides of the same coin. You cannot have one without the other. The next time you find yourself in an uncomfortable situation, remember that it's an opportunity for growth.
Embrace it, learn from it, and know that on the other side of that discomfort is a stronger, wiser, and more capable version of yourself. In our fast-paced world where noise and distractions are prevalent, the concept of silence is often undervalued. Yet silence plays a crucial role in personal development and self-discovery. It's in the quiet moments when we can hear ourselves think and feel our emotions that we build strength. This strength, however, must be complemented by action, while silence builds resilience and clarity. Action is what drives progress. The interplay between silence and action is essential for meaningful growth and accomplishment. Silence allows us to connect with our inner selves. In the hustle and bustle of everyday life, it's easy to lose touch with who we are and what we truly want. Silence provides the space we need to reflect, to meditate, and to listen to our inner voice. When we embrace silence, we create a sanctuary for our thoughts and emotions, free from the chaos of external influences. In this quiet space, we can assess our feelings, beliefs, and aspirations without the noise of the world clouding our judgment. This process of introspection is vital for building strength. By understanding ourselves better, we become more resilient in the face of challenges. Silence enables us to confront our fears, doubts, and insecurities. It is in these moments of solitude that we can process our emotions and prepare ourselves mentally for the challenges ahead. By acknowledging our vulnerabilities in silence, we develop a sense of self-awareness that fosters emotional strength. Moreover, silence cultivates patience. In a society that often equates busyness with success, we can forget the power of waiting and reflection. Silence teaches us to be patient, to allow thoughts to marinate and ideas to develop. It helps us understand that not everything requires immediate action. Sometimes taking a step back is the best way to move forward. This patience is essential in a world that often demands instant results. When we cultivate patience through silence, We prepare ourselves to make more thoughtful and deliberate choices.
However, silence alone is not enough. While it builds the strength necessary for resilience, it is act, transform, and present progress. Once we have gained clarity and strength through moments of silence, the next step is to put that understanding into practice. It is the bridge that takes us from intention to reality.
It is through action that, as our thoughts and dreams intervene, every great achievement begins with a single step. It is not enough to sit in silence contemplating what we want to achieve. We must also take the necessary steps to turn those thoughts into action. This can often be the most challenging part of the process. It requires courage, determination, and the willingness to step outside of our comfort zones. Many people have brilliant ideas and dreams but fail to act on them due to fear, self-doubt, or procrastination. This is where the strength built in silence comes into play. When we have taken the time to understand ourselves and our motivations, we can draw upon that inner strength to push through the barriers that may hold us back from taking action. Taking action also breeds confidence. When we take steps toward our goals, no matter how small, we reinforce our belief in ourselves. Each action, each step taken builds momentum. It creates a cycle of progress that inspires further action. The more we act, the more confidence we gain, and the more willing we become to take on new challenges. This positive feedback loop is essential for growth. Furthermore, action allows us to learn and adapt. While silence provides a space for reflection and planning, action exposes us to real-world experiences. When we take action, we gather data about what works and what doesn't. This information is invaluable. It allows us to refine our approach, make adjustments, and adapt, and ultimately move closer to our goals. Failure is a part of this process, and it is through taking action that we learn how to navigate setbacks. Each failure provides a lesson that contributes to our strength and resilience. The balance between silence and action is crucial. Too much silence without action can lead to stagnation. It's easy to get caught in a loop of overthinking, analyzing every possible outcome without ever moving forward. On the other hand, taking action without the foundation of strength built through silence can lead to impulsive decisions that may not align with our true desires or values. This imbalance can result in frustration, burnout, or regret. To harness the power of both silence and action, we must learn to move fluidly between the two. Regularly carve out time for silence, whether through meditation, journaling, or simply spending time alone in nature. Use these moments to reflect on your goals, assess your motivations, and cultivate the inner strength necessary for resilience. Once you feel centered and grounded, take action. Start with small, manageable steps that align with your goals. As you build momentum, you will gain confidence, and each success will encourage you to take even more significant steps. Remember, progress is not a straight line. It is often a winding path filled with twists and turns.
There will be times when you need to retreat into silence to recalibrate, and there will be times when you need to charge forward with action. Embrace this ebb and flow. Understand that both silence and action are essential to your journey. Ultimately, silence builds strength and action brings progress.
By recognizing the importance of both in our lives, we empower ourselves to become the best versions of who we are meant to be. Take the time to cultivate moments of silence, allowing your inner voice to guide you. Then take that strength and turn it into action. With this powerful combination, you can overcome obstacles, achieve your goals, and create a life that reflects your true potential. It's in the synergy of silence and action that we find the strength to rise, the courage to act, and the resilience to progress. Your journey is unique, a path that is yours alone to navigate. Each individual's life is marked by distinct experiences, choices, and lessons that shape who they are. This personal journey is not just about the destination, it's about the twists and turns, the struggles and triumphs, and the growth that happens along the way. Embracing the fact that your journey is personal can be liberating, allowing you to focus on your own path without being influenced by external expectations or comparisons. From the moment we are born, we begin to forge our own paths. Our family, culture, and environment play significant roles in shaping our initial experiences and perspectives. However, as we grow, we inevitably encounter choices that lead us down different roads. Some may take the conventional route, following societal norms and expectations, while others may venture into the unknown, daring to carve their own paths. Both paths are valid, and recognizing that your journey is personal means accepting the choices you make along the way. Throughout life, we are constantly faced with challenges and obstacles. These hardships, while uncomfortable, are often the most powerful catalyst for growth. Every struggle you face is a unique experience that contributes to your personal journey. It is easy to feel overwhelmed or discouraged during difficult times, but it's important to remember that these challenges shape your character and resilience. When you look back on your journey, it's often the struggles that stand out as pivotal moments that taught you valuable lessons. Moreover, each person's perspective on these challenges is different. What may seem like a trivial setback to one person can feel monumental to another. This subjectivity reinforces the idea that your journey is personal. No one else can fully understand your experiences, feelings, and reactions. It's crucial to give yourself permission to feel and process these emotions without the need for validation from others. Acknowledging your feelings can lead to greater self-awareness and ultimately empower you to overcome obstacles. Another essential aspect of recognizing the personal nature of your journey is the realization that growth is not linear. It often involves a series of highs and lows, progress and setbacks. Embracing the nonlinear nature of growth is key to maintaining a healthy perspective on your journey. Just because you may not see immediate progress doesn't mean you're not moving forward. Some of the most profound transformations happen in the quiet moments when it feels like nothing is changing. Patience becomes a vital skill as you learn to trust the process of your journey, understanding that every step, no matter how small, is significant. Additionally, comparisons can be toxic when it comes to our personal journeys. In an age dominated by social media, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparing our lives to others. However, it's crucial to remember that everyone is on their own path, facing their own challenges and victories. What you see on the surface may not reflect the complete picture. Social media often highlights the best moments of people's lives, creating an illusion of perfection that can leave you feeling inadequate. Instead of comparing yourself to others, focus on your own journey. Celebrate your achievements, no matter how small, and recognize that you are exactly where you need to be. Self-acceptance is another vital component of understanding that your journey is personal. It's important to embrace who you are, including your strengths and weaknesses. Accepting yourself means acknowledging that you have your own set of skills, passions, and dreams that make you unique. When you accept yourself, you are more likely to pursue your goals authentically without the burden of trying to meet others' expectations. Your journey becomes about following your passions and desires rather than adhering to societal norms. Equally important is the notion that it's okay to seek help along your journey. While your path is personal, it doesn't mean you have to walk it alone. Leaning on friends, family, mentors, or even professional guidance can provide valuable support and insight. Sometimes sharing your experiences with others can offer new perspectives and help you navigate through difficult times.
The connections you build with others along your journey can enrich your experience and remind you that while your journey is personal, it's also a shared human experience. Another significant aspect of a personal journey is the importance of setting your own goals. In a world that often pressures us to conform to predefined standards of success, it's vital to define what success looks like for you personally.
Your goals should align with your values, passions, and aspirations rather than what society dictates. By setting your own goals, you can create a roadmap that resonates with you. This personal compass will guide you through your journey, ensuring that each step you take is meaningful and fulfilling. Embracing the fact that your journey is personal also allows you to appreciate the beauty of diversity in human experience. Each person you encounter has their own unique story, filled with struggles, triumphs, and lessons learned. When you recognize the individuality of your journey, you develop a deeper appreciation for others' experiences as well. This understanding fosters empathy and compassion, allowing you to connect with others on a more profound level. Finally, it's essential to celebrate the milestones along your journey. Recognizing and honoring your achievements, no matter how small, helps to build confidence and motivation. Every step you take is a testament to your strength and determination. Celebrate the progress you've made and take time to reflect on the lessons learned along the way. This practice not only boosts your self-esteem, but also reinforces the understanding that your journey is valuable and worthwhile. In conclusion, your journey is a personal odyssey filled with unique experiences, challenges, and triumphs. Embracing the individuality of your path allows you to cultivate self-acceptance, resilience, and authenticity. While it's natural to encounter challenges and compare yourself to others, always remember that each person's journey is their own. Celebrate your progress, seek support when needed, and take pride in the growth that comes from navigating your unique path. Ultimately, your journey is a testament to your strength and a reflection of your true self.